If you're writing genre fiction, you are going to hear the word tropes. And when you do, you might be going, I don't know what that is, or you might think, I want to hate them. But today I'm going to give you a couple reasons why tropes can be a writer's best friend. All right, so if you write genre fiction, it's really important to understand tropes so that you can use them or bend them, okay? So first, if you're going, Sharon, what is a trope? I will say, I had the same question many years ago and went, what does that mean? And as soon as I heard the definition, I went, oh, okay, well, I know what they're talking about. I knew what it was without knowing that there was a word for it. So a trope is just a common or recurring theme, okay? So saving the bad boy, falling for the guy next door, friends to lovers, billionaire, military, different tropes like that. So of course, I just threw out a whole bunch that are from the romance genre because that is where I've been published the most. But there's also those from women's fiction that I used in my most recent book. Grief, family issues, sister relationship, vacation. Okay, vacation is a trope, a vacation story. This happens in not their hometown, all right? So tropes are common and recurring themes. And why can that be your best friend? Because readers like them. Readers know what they like. They'll go, oh, I really like this. And so if you're writing a trope and they can tell it's a trope they like, they're more inclined to pick up your book. Some readers want it to just always be the same, okay? So here are my 2 tips for you. So the first is that common is good because readers connect with that. That's like that familiar thing. We all like the comfort of something familiar. And it's the same when readers are reading a book. They like the comfort of this familiar trope that, oh yeah, she's gonna meet her brother's best friend, and oh, she's got a secret crush on him. Secret crush, another trope, and da-da-da-da-da, and blah, blah, blah. And so they kind of like that. Okay, so that's good, except if you become too rote, if you always have the progression the same. Every book, every chosen one story from an epic fantasy is they're an orphan. Oh, epic chosen one story is, and so you get tired of it. See, did you notice my whole body language just changed on that, right? I don't want it to be rote. When I read yet another chosen one who's an orphan, okay, this has been done too much. So how can I change that up? That's a good one. Orphan to the king of the realm is a cool, people like that. People like that victory of that someone who's a complete and total underdog is going to succeed and come to the top of everything. So people like that, but they don't want it to be too rote, or you shouldn't want it to be the same thing that everyone's writing. Oh, there goes my eyes rolling because, yep, oh, and now this is going to happen, and now this is going to happen, and now, oh, of course it's that. So don't do that. So choose your tropes that you like to write, that you enjoy writing, but shake them up a little bit. Don't make them be the same. Figure out ways to make them different. But the second piece of advice is going to say, break the mold, but not too much. Okay, and you're like, Sharon, you just said don't be rote, but now you're saying don't break the mold too much. Because if you make it too off the wall, too far out of what the expectation is, then your readers get upset because they expected this friends to lovers romance to go a certain way. And if you make it so now it's a love triangle and then she doesn't really choose the friend, she goes with the other guy or whatever, you shake it up too much, then they're going to be unhappy and their reviews are going to let you know about that. And I know this because the first couple novellas that I published with Sweet Promise Press were romances, but they were not, they didn't follow the tropes completely. What they really were women's fiction novels with a romance in them. But I had to do men and women's. And so the man also had an issue that he was facing, and helping each other with their issues is how they connected, and then their romance. Okay, so it was a romance, but it wasn't really romance. And a lot of my readers were like not overly thrilled with that. They wanted more romance than the issues. So, which is why possibly that my latest book is women's fiction, because that is really more what I'm made to write. So, a trope is a common and recurring theme. Genre readers love them. Common's good, but don't follow it exactly, okay? And you can break the mold, and you should break the mold, but not too much. If you completely shatter it, then your readers are going to be unhappy. They might stop reading, or they might leave you a bad review. You can decide which of those is worse. So if you're have more to say about tropes, I would love to hear what you have to say in the comments. I would love to have a conversation about tropes with them. And if you have even more questions and would love to join a community of writers where you can get all your questions answered by other writers just like you, there's a link to join the Write Your Book Nook down below. I hope to see you there.